He writes, why won't the NCAA, and he continues down here, do anything about Georgia and Alabama? Like most people out here, when I saw that first sentence and statement, I was like, what? What in the world's going on with Alabama and Georgia? What are they doing? I didn't know these programs were doing something shady. I didn't know they was doing something behind the scenes, so let me continue to read this. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, hope I'll be having a great week. Hope I'll be having a great Wednesday. If not, hope this video can make it a little bit better. And man, oh man, this is going to be an interesting video. I can already see the comments. In tonight's video, we got not one, not two, but three topics to go over. And two of those topics include situations we were going to go over in today's video earlier. However, we didn't get to them, but here we are now. We're going to talk about those, the new ratings that has came out for the NCAA game, and something Lincoln Riley has said that caught my attention. It's in regards to how the red shirting system works, and I'm a fan of it. But what I'm going to label as the main topic is something Alabama and Georgia have been doing. According to some people out there, they believe the NCAA needs to stop in, and they got to stop Alabama and Georgia from doing this because it's not fair. Interesting stuff to say the least. Strap in, buckle up, get you a snack, get you a popcorn, get your favorite meal you like to eat when you watch a video, because trust me, I do the same thing. But alright, Matt, blah, blah, should wrap up now. Without further ado, let's get into it. Alright, first things first, let's take a look at these ratings. So for those of you who don't know, the NCAA 25 game, it came out finally. It's been long awaited. Well, in this game, they do updates every so often, and, you know, if a player does good, they get a little boost to their rating. If they do bad, they go down. And they've done an update since this most recent weekend in college football, and just like everybody else, I am assuming that Ryan Williams, he's got to go up a ton, right? You also got to figure some other guys might go down, and just take a look at this. DJ Ugabadoogie was an 85 overall to start the season. They dropped him, which, okay, we knew that was going to happen, but they only dropped him by 1 point. He's going from an 85 to 84? Electronic Arts, what are we doing, buddy? And this is what I'm talking about, these nerds don't know ball. An 84. DJ Ugabadoogie. Come on, man. It's to the point where it's beyond laughable. I even tweeted it out. I have no words. I'm not even trolling on a serious note. DJ should be something around a 68, 69, 70, 71, 72. And be dead serious. Don't say he should be like a 40 or 50. Come on now, that's disrespectful. What do you think his rating should be? I tell you this much. We can all agree he ain't no 84 overall. I digress, but here's where things get even more interesting. Not only is DJU a 84, but Ryan Williams, he was an 81 heading into his season. Well, guess where he's at now? Only an 82. Ryan Williams went up 1 point after dominating one of the best defenses in the nation. And it's not just that game. He's been one of the best wide receivers in the nation the entire year. 1 point. And you could argue about that, but here's what I'm going to bring up. You mean to tell me you think Ugabadoogie is better, 2 points better than Ryan Williams? I'm going to say it again. Come on, man. Imagine somebody walking up to you in Walmart or Publix and saying, hey, I think DJ Ugabadoogie is a better football player than Ryan Williams. You'd probably slap him across the face, wouldn't you? Insanity, Donovan Edwards, he went from a 91 to a 90. If you want me to be honest about that, he should probably drop to like a 80 or 81. He hasn't been too great this year. And there's no need to look at any more ratings for other players because these don't even matter at this point. All I needed to see is that you got Ugabadoogie ranked ahead of Ryan Williams. That's it. I just can't take you serious at that point. So let's move on to our second topic, and that's Mr. Lincoln Riley. I did want to share this with y'all. So this is what Lincoln Riley had to say in regards of, you know, how in college football you now have guys playing for like 6, 7, 8 years because of the redshirt rules. He states, and I quote, I think guys should have 5 years. Do whatever you want, play as much as you want, or as little as you want, and the only way you get an extra one is if you have 2 season-ending injuries and miss the whole season. That might be one of the greatest takes I've ever seen in my life. When I tell you that is a perfect, and I mean a perfect idea and suggestion, I mean it. He's spot on the money, and you know how I feel about it. I'm sick and tired of seeing these guys play college football for 7 or 8 years, or even 6 years. To me, I always viewed a 5th-year player as, okay, you're pushing the limit a little bit, but give you a benefit of doubt. Maybe you got hurt, redshirted, etc. It's okay. 5 years is okay. But anything after 5, when you're playing 6, 7, 8 years of college football, it's like, dude, you got to get a job, man. And I'm not hating the player. It's more so of I'm hating the game. If I was in their shoes, I'd do the same thing, especially at NIL. But what makes all this so bad and people don't understand it is when you got a guy who's like 24, 25, he's on his 6th or 7th year, he's taken away from those incoming freshmen. And I got to give you some more context. Another reason why he's even bringing this up is because we're now seeing players find and really abuse a loophole in the system. If you don't know what loophole I'm referring to, players can play in 3 games. 3 games, not practices. We're talking about legit games, and redshirt the remainder of the season, and it's like you didn't even play. You still get another year. Essentially speaking, you can transfer to a school, and if things aren't working out in your first 3 games or 3 weeks, you can say, oh yeah, I'm probably going to play much here, so might as well redshirt and act like this didn't happen. It's dumb. And a good way to fix that is by doing what he just said. The NCAA says, all right, no more of that, you get 5 years. And I know an argument people are going to bring up, I'm even thinking about it myself right now. Well, Matt, what if a player gets hurt 2 or 3 years? And like Lincoln Riley said, that's the only way you get another year is if you have like 2 or 3 season-ending injuries. I would love to talk about that some more, but we got to move on to the main topic of the main encore. Main reason you clicked onto this video. What in the world is going on with Alabama and the Georgia Bulldogs? As we all know, they had that legendary matchup this most recent weekend, and no, I'm not here to talk about that. What we're here to talk about is something these programs have been doing these past couple of years. As we know, Alabama has been the best program in college football for the last 20 years, and I'd say the past, 6, 7 years, Georgia, they've been right up there with Bama. And all in all, I'd say for the past 10 years, Georgia and Alabama have been dominating the sport of college football. And as where it stands right now, it is rare to see both of these teams lose. As a matter of fact, Georgia in the last 48 games is 45-3. Their 3 losses to guess who? Alabama. When it comes to recruiting, both of them are always in the top 5. They're the best of the best. You get the point. Well, check out what an Auburn fan had to say on one of the Auburn message boards. He writes, why won't the NCAA, and he continues down here, do anything about Georgia and Alabama? Like most people out here, when I saw that first sentence and statement, I was like, what? What in the world's going on with Alabama and Georgia? What are they doing? I didn't know these programs were doing something shady. I didn't know they was doing something behind the scenes, so let me continue to read this. Continuing after Alabama, these programs don't operate like college football teams. They are NFL teams masquerading as college teams. I grew up in the 90s when college football was a lot better, and these 2 teams were just normal teams that won and lost. And why are their players so freaking massive? Sorry, but it just stinks to high heaven. It's not normal at all. So that last sentence kind of seemed like he was just throwing in stuff. He's like, oh, no, yeah. By the way, why are their players bigger than ours? He's got a fair point. There was always an ongoing joke for years that Alabama creates players in a laboratory in Tuscaloosa. And now you're seeing it with Ryan Williams. I mean, at this point in time, it kind of feels like it's not even a conspiracy theory, just a theory at this point. But getting back to his statement, he started off with a question. Why won't the NCAA at the top, continuing right after 18 minutes, you see, do anything about Georgia and Alabama? Well, my rebuttal to that question is a question for you. To whoever wrote this, it looks like his name's Dev. I thought the dynasty was over. What happened? I thought when Nick Saban retired, the dynasty's over and Alabama's going 8-4 and 7-5. So now it's not fair that Alabama's doing great and Georgia's doing great. The NCAA needs to step in. You got to pick a side, buddy. Look, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but the days of Alabama going 7-5, 8-4, I said this in the offseason, people call me crazy, but now they're starting to come around. Those days are over. And when I say they're over, kind of exaggerating, but they're not going to return and I mean anytime soon. Maybe in 15 to 20 years, Alabama has a 7-5, 8-4 season, but that's it. And as long as Kirby Smart's at Georgia, it's the same thing. Smart's got at what? Bare minimum 12, 16 years left at Georgia, so you better get used to it. Let's answer the second question. These programs don't operate like college football teams. They are NFL teams masquerading as college teams. I don't understand that one either. Auburn has the same resources, the same NIL funds, the same boosters, same everything as Georgia and Alabama. The only thing Auburn is lacking in right now is coaches, head coach at that, and a quarterback. Just because y'all suck, and you say this all the time, it doesn't mean somebody else is cheating. And Auburn's standards are so whack and out of line, it blows my mind. Their goal every single year isn't to win a championship, it's to beat Alabama. Whereas Alabama's goal every single year is not to beat Auburn, it's to win a championship. I'm not talking about the football team. I'm talking about the program. As an entire whole, Auburn, they're good, but not great. The Georgia argument's really interesting because the only thing they were lacking before they started winning these championships was a great head coach in Kirby Smart. Because with Mark Richt, they were still going 9-3, 10-2 every single year. And I'm trying to give this guy the benefit of the doubt, but I don't even know what he wants the NCAA come in and do. When people see someone succeeding, they think there's some secret Krabby Patty formula or some secret sauce, but in reality, There's not. It's as simple as Alabama has a great program. Kids go there because they love the program and university. They got good coaches, good coaching staff, a good AD, and the list goes on and on and on. Auburn, on the other hand, and this is a different video for a different day, behind the scenes with the boosters and alumni, it is a crap show. None of them are on the same page. Georgia boosters, alumni, everyone affiliated with the program in Alabama, they are on the same page, which equates to winning championships every single year, or competing for them every single year. And I know it seems like I'm saying I hate to say this a lot, but to my Auburn fans, I hate to say this, you're not going to be competing, not even just winning, but competing for a championship anytime soon. I'm talking about the next 5-7 years. And I get it for the fans. I live in Alabama. It sucks because two of your next door neighbors, Alabama and Georgia, are competing for championships every single year. It's frustrating, and you're sitting here going, well, dude, we're getting all these 5-star recruits. How are we not competing for championships? Heck, how are we not even winning 8 games a year? Sometimes in life, I know as a man it's hard to do, but you got to tip your cap to your opponent and look at the next man and go, you know what? I've done my best, but that guy, he's just better than me, and that's what's happening here. Auburn, you've done your best. You've tried. But you ain't better than big bro Alabama, and you're not even close to Georgia either. It doesn't mean Alabama and Georgia's cheating. Maybe, and it's just a maybe, you're not good. And also, too, I didn't even bring this up. I almost ended off the video without saying this. Auburn competed with Georgia and Alabama last year, and they should have beat Alabama. So you're sitting up here talking about the NCAA needs to step in. Step in for what? You should have beat these guys. People forget just because of the Bama game last year, but Auburn was in prime position to upset Georgia as well. Interesting times on the Plains, man. Interesting times. I'm curious. Let me know your thoughts on all this down below. But